Hi guys, welcome back to Conversations with Kanyomozi. My name is Lisa Kanyomozi Roboni, and we have a recurring guest throughout June, and that is Pearl, who is my best friend. And we have shared on friendship, long-term friendship, growing and evolving through it. We also had a little fun episode that I think you guys should check out on our biggest icks when we are out and about in the clubs or in the parties and the social scenes. I really enjoyed that episode. And this episode is mainly on romantic relationships and friendships. So a lot of the times people have written about it, people have done podcasts, or done whatever. So we want to share our thoughts and views, because your friends are always important. Oh, I like this person, or this is happening, or that is happening. Or your friends are the people who you're ditching consistently because you like a boy and then he breaks up with you and then you want to bring your dick back. That doesn't happen here. But and until I say that I'm marrying my best friend on my wedding. But so that's what we're getting into. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, guys. My name is Pearl. Obviously, by now you should know, aka Miss P.
You already know who it is, your girl, those things.
No. It's really that. It's really just, I'm really nobody's girl. It's really just aka Miss P. An events connoisseur. Follow the avenue. The page is the Avenue 416. Solely based in Toronto, and we do events management, artist management, and host some of the greatest events in the city. And obviously we've had some of the best DJs, so check us out. Let us know what you guys think. If you're a young talent, do DM us. It'd be lovely to manage you.
I'm gonna share my rate card with Avenue after here because I can't. But that's what my boo doesn't have free time. And so if you listen to the first episode, we talked about how through our 12-year friendship, because we're just a couple of months, 12 years, so our 12-year friendship, we have managed to navigate different conversations on what we think about relationships, also just being more open about what happens in our relationship and stuff like that. And I think what I want to spearhead this conversation off with is, I feel like you have better, authentic, and more real experiences with romantic relationships when you're telling your friends the real truth. A lot of the times we sugarcoat for these men that we like, because over here we are unfortunately heteros. We're hetero babes. It's fine. So in our heteroness, most times I personally used to downplay what exactly is happening in romantic relationships, but as I have now grown, I tell Paul everything. If I don't tell her everything, I've told her 97%, which is pretty much everything, and I'm able to get better advice coming from there. How would you like to spearhead this conversation?
Let's just get right into it. I feel like this one is going to be it's going to be really interesting for me, at least, because anyway, let's get into it.
Okay, Paul, what was your longest relationship?
5 years. 5 years. And fun fact, Lisa found that on the day. Women will tell you when Lisa found out. Lisa is the one who broke up with a person for me. That's when I found out.
After 5 years of being in a relationship. Let me tell you, when I tell you this girl can keep secrets, she can kill you. And then that's why she's my best friend, because the secrets I have, but not few. My longest relationship, 2 years. I'm the date of our friendship. I'm the one who actually has relationships. Someone over here, to find her heart. I don't know if it's even there. I didn't say anything.
Don't say that.
I feel like, anyway. Do you tell all when it comes to the relationship? If yes, why? If no, why not? In your friendships.
As you mentioned before, the older you grow, the more, I feel like the older you grow, the more you want to share just for a clear picture. But then also, you have to be careful what you share with your friends, especially when it has to do with somebody else, because you don't ever want your friends to have that a skewed image of somebody, especially if it's not like, if you're not having like fights, it's just disagreements on like light topics type of thing. But like obviously if that person is beating you up or that type of thing, be honest and earnest about it. It is what it is. But you never want, you don't want to share something that's going to make your significant other, you can make your friends look at him like, that's the guy with you know. So yeah, I do share. I feel like I do share with, especially like my really, really, really close friends.
You have multiple?
Anyway, I share with Lisa. Let's just keep it that way. I share with Lisa everything. Oh yeah, as she said, 97% of everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Like obviously, I give it to her in bits and pieces. I don't give her the whole lowdown in the beginning. Because I throw here and then I throw there, and then one day I'll tell you the full story. But yeah.
That's so true. Because let me tell you, dealing with a best friend who's private, and then for you, your chatterbox, it's hard. It's hard. I think for me, it's evolved, as I said, it's evolved over time. Obviously, I like to talk, so I tell my friends majority of stuff that happens in a relationship, but I always tell them the good stuff. And recently is when I've come into the place that I tell them like the details, like, oh, he's done this, and this is this, and this is my reaction. And I really try to tell, even when it's like, and every time I tell the full story, unless there's a reason why I'm not telling a full story. But I really tell, or I'll tell you in the end. But I want to tell you from where I came from, what I did, and then what he did. So that thing that Paul is saying of you don't have you don't have a bad image of the person who I'm seeing. Because you say, okay, so I will, for example, I'm one to cause, like I throw tantrums for free. You don't have to pay me, I'll just throw it. And a lot of times I used to tell what the person has done when I've thrown my tantrum. But now it's a thing of, so I did A, B, C, and D, and then he did this and that. But also I feel like I don't tell all my friends, I tell certain friends who have the who are very objective. So I have, like, I know Paul is very emotionally mature. So it's a thing of, she understands like relationship dynamics. She understands that today you can say, I'm not going to text this person, I'm not going to talk to them, I'm not going to. And then tomorrow, you're just an idiot. Like, you're just a cow. That's what she decided to do. And she doesn't, like, judge me for it. She doesn't, like, question me for it. She's not hard on me for it. She's just like, okay, Sawa, you've done that. Next. Like, what's happening? But also, it's from a point of, I now know with the way Paul thinks, she'll give you her advice, and that's it. Like, if you decide to go against it, Sawa. And I feel like that speaks to the point of, like, what Paul said in, like, you don't want your friends to have certain images. So even I don't know if I feel like you actually forgive when you take what decision I've made. If I've decided to forgive the person and continue moving forward, so what? Let's we'll cross that next bridge when we get there.
Then also, I just wanted to say, guys, sometimes when Lisa is sharing with me whatever it is, and then when she's done talking, I always ask her. I actually, at the beginning of conversations, always, are we talking for me to listen, or are you talking to stick my opinion? Because then you know what to say and how to respond after the conversation. If it's talking to listen, I'll be like, oh, okay, Kawa, I'm sure you'll figure it out. We keep it pushing type of thing. And then if it's advice, obviously, I'm like 2 cents on whatever it is.
I agree with that. Also, another thing that you do is, why has it flown out of my mind? I just feel like you're very, very objective. Oh yeah, another thing that I read is that it's not your responsibility to understand your friends' relationships. So if you go, even when I'm going into like advising my friends that are not just Paul is mad, even people that are not just Paul, I say my 2 cents, And I stopped carrying beef of like people's relationships. Oh, he did everything. I'm not talking to him. Next week we are talking about him. I'm just like, Ate. Like
Yeah.
I just carried I want people to tell me everything because I want to give you objectivity as your friend. Like because there are situations I have personally been like in an abusive relationship, and it was, I think it only got abusive because I wasn't talking, because I just felt like if I tell someone this, they're going to judge me for it, or they're going to like, I don't know if I'm ready to leave, or like all these different things. So I'm very, very pro telling people everything that's happening, but finding safe spaces that are able to be objective. Like someone you've said, but me, I think so. You just have this different opinion, and someone has come and been honest and truthful about it. And then my next question is, how do you tackle advice with your friends when it comes to romance? Like, can you just expand on it?
Yeah. So I have like aside from this, I have like, well, if Lisa is not on the list, it's like 4 solid friends, girlfriends that I can actually call up and be like, yo, this is what's happening. So basically, these are people I know at my heart, they've got the best interest for me. And the fun fact, they're actually all very objective people. It's kind of a thing of, I'm going to share with you the story. This is what happened. This is it. This is how I'm feeling about it. This is what the person has done to me. And they're going to be like, you know what? Yeah, like I hear you. Cool story. Yeah. But fun fact is probably you have to do X, Y, and Z because it's just not fair. So I don't share with everyone. That's why probably a couple of you will be surprised to hear that I was in a relationship for 5 years. But the 5 that I do share with, I know that they have the best interest, and they are coming from a place of love, because we are all similar people in a sense of everyone just understands what it is. It's not a thing of, as Lisa said, I will tell you, I'm not texting the person tomorrow morning. I'm gonna come and tell Lisa, guess what, bestie? My bestie is right back.
The fact that it happened this week, I'm just like, I just said I'm just going to ignore you today because
My boy
I don't have the patience.
Literally, oh my. Anyway, let's not get into that. But yeah, yeah. That's my submission for that.
I think when I'm giving advice to friends, again, like I said, I'm a very, like, I tell you what I think. This is my opinion. This is how I feel. But like the decision at the end of the day is yours. And like obviously I'm the type of person, if you've not listened to the second episode, I'm very irritable. I have a short fuse. If you bring one problem to me 5 times, you're now the idiot. I'm not going to come and discuss that with you. I'll just listen. And the 5th time, the last time I'm listening to it. If you bring it up a 6th time, I'm going to cut you and say, I'm sorry, friend, I can't actually listen to this problem again. I'm tired. Like, there's no space in I've told you this and this. I've given you my opinion. I've let you run through it. I've let you think about it. You're still letting it go. So have yourself a great time, friend. Be good.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, just giving your honest opinion. I mean, not obviously murdering somebody, but like giving your honest opinion, and also allowing that your opinion has room for there to be another opinion. Because sometimes you give opinion, like, you have to take my opinion. If you don't, then we'll go the other way. But like, for instance, I shared with Lisa and another friend of mine about something that was happening in my life, and I told them everything or whatever. They listened to me. They're like, okay. They're like, but X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to do it. And they're like, okay, but that will be the only way for you to move forward from that. I was like, yeah, I know, I'm aware, but right now, I just can't get around to doing it. So it was a thing of, they listened to me, they gave me advice that had room for me to have my own opinion. And yeah, basically, I'm even dying now thinking about that.
You should be cringing, babe. And then also how I take advice personally, it's a thing of when I give when I tell my friends something, I just want, if you listen to the first episode, guys, for you to, you have to listen to all the episodes. Anyway, I'm very hard to check and hold accountable. And one of the things that I really struggle with are my romantic relationships or romantic feelings or romantic situations. Because I'm just like, I feel like, because you like me and I like you, your world should start when I wake up and go to stop when I do it, when I go to sleep. And sometimes I need my friends to remind me that that person is separate and they have a life of their own and they have their own manners. And just like I'm asking them to understand me, I must also understand them. So that's why I tell my friends. Because I know I'm a delulu babe, but on top of delusion, I'm mad. So that's how I take advice. I take advice very, very objectively when it's coming to romantic relationships and friendships. Like I need, because I know my friends know me and they know my manners, so I need their advice to not run mad. Because one thing about me, I'm going to run mad. My next question that follows up after that is what is this chiffon? Okay. Do you think you need to be close to your friends' partners?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have no, especially if I didn't know them before and
Yeah.
we didn't have a friendship or any kind of ship before. I have no business being close to your partner because what is he telling me except from planning? Now for you and I, except from planning, our birthday. Like also what are you going to tell me? Like it's my birthday too, so qu'est-ce que c'est?
Yeah. Yeah.
From like planning maybe an anniversary or asking me what does Lisa like or what do you think Lisa will think about this, you know, I
Yeah.
have no business having being close to your partner just because it doesn't benefit me in any way, and I never want your partner to feel comfortable telling me what's in your relationship. I want to hear it from you and only you.
Yeah, I'm a firm supporter of this as well. Like, I just feel like I don't. That's not my friend. That's your person.
Yeah.
I don't want a relationship with them. I don't, unless I've been friends with them prior to you guys getting to know each other, or we've interacted before. And usually it will stay on the level of interaction it was. We're not gonna get it deeper.
Yeah.
See me? We're not gonna get deeper. We're not gonna for some more relationships.
Mhm.
I'm the one friend who tell people like, bring your partners once in a while. Like I don't actually, they're not my friends. You guys went and chose yourself, so I don't need to also be part of the choosing process. Please leave me out, count me absent when it comes to this situation. I fully do not. I don't want to be your friends. I don't want to be your partner's friend. I don't. And the good thing with Pala, like the chances that the person I am with is going to be Paul's friend are solo and vice versa. Like it's close to never, because and you know, we both have bad manners. That's what we lived on. Um, if your friend was being cheated on, how would you approach the situation?
Oh my god, I've thought
Your
and
best friend, your best friend like
I
me.
thought about this question. And because it's you, Lisa, I'm going to tell you, I have a running mouth, bro. I will come and tell you directly. I don't actually, you know what? I'm lying. I feel like I'd first assess the situation.
Mm,
And my problem would come on how to tell you because I've never had to do something like this. So I don't know. I absolutely do not know how best to even relay the information to you. But obviously,
mm,
hey boo, you're good. So, this like your friend, I think I'm just thinking, I saw type of thing, and then I'll let you know what it is. And I would tell you because I know that you're not one to think that I would be against your relationship
mm.
type of thing. So yeah, I would definitely tell you. Yeah, yeah, I'll really tell you. I'll tell you.
Okay. I I would tell you as well, and it's not even like I wouldn't even just as they I know you so the same way I know you support my relationships or whatever, and you want to see me hurt, that's the same reason I'll tell you, and I'll tell you off the bat. Like if it's like a deep relationship of guys, you have kids, whatever, whatever. that's when I would think through the approach.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it's not, I'm in the, like, if it's a fling, I'm in the club, I'm like, good, your friend here is doing madness. If it's a relationship of some time, like a couple of months or a year or something like that, then I can be like, oh, babe, I'm going to call you in the morning. There's something I need to tell you.
Mm.
The approach depends on how serious the relationship is, but I'm definitely telling you. And
Okay.
even if you go and tell your boo after you guys have started, I don't care. If I see it again, I'm going to tell you again. And like, even if you unfriend me, I'm going to tell you.
I don't.
But that's only for you though, because I know
Yeah,
like you think
same.
about it,
Yes.
and stuff like that. For other people, it's a depend situation. Like,
Mhm.
I'm
You
just feeling I haven't seen. For a lot of
know,
people, I'm just feeling I haven't seen.
you know that meme. I have got the evidence. Sisimiya. That would be
You see
me.
me as yeah, as
Literally.
in, first of all, I don't even think I would let it continue, especially now that I'm thinking context of if it's you. I would look at him and I will have to go and say, hi, how are you? You're having a lot of fun here. Tell me about it. Like, I feel like I'm definitely gonna be that friend who, if you have a very like mischievous partner pal, they're gonna hate me. They're going to hate me because I'm just going to be like, I'm sorry, who approved this? Who approved this? Like, I have to go and say, actually, yeah, that's what I'll do. And then I'll tell you after. But first, I have to first cause, because that's also my relationship. What do you
You
mean?
know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
This is us. This is us. And then the next one is if your friend was cheating in what is seemingly a good relationship, how would you proceed?
I have not seen. It
That's it.
depends.
That's your response.
It depends on why she's cheating.
No, you just know I'm a cantankerous babe, you babe, and
Yeah,
this is
that's
a good
nice.
relationship. Yeah, we're good. At home we're
Obviously,
kawa. Like
in
on the
that,
home front, we're presenting as if we're okay, which we possibly are. Because if we're not, I would have let you know. So you'd. But then at the same time, I'm just like, we went out, and this guy who I had been checking, like I told you about him maybe, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go home with him. What would you do?
um, I would ask you first of all, Lisa. You know the face. I hope you've already got the face in your head. Do you know the face that
It's already there. First of all, I don't think I can even say that's what's saying.
you chick? I would be like, excuse me, babes.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would have a conversation with you on site whilst you're going to the car.
You didn't even let me go to the car. You
On
should
your
even
way
put
to the
me.
car, we shall be going together. At least I sit in the back seat as we are going. Literally, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's really gonna be it's going to be a conversation, and the next day it's not gonna be sweet because I
Yeah.
trust you might even tell your husband or your partner.
Mm,
Be like your
that's a violation.
your sweetie is moving mad.
I personally would also have a conversation with ex-friend. I don't condone hurting people, and I don't
Yeah,
condone like bad manners. Especially if someone is being good. If there's an issue, discuss it. If you are in a relationship, try to make it as healthy as possible.
yeah,
If like there are reasons why people cheat apparently, but
yeah,
like find ways to navigate that in a very healthy manner.
yeah,
If you can't,
yeah,
friend, just let the person go. Let the person
yeah.
go and let the person be. Um yeah, that's my 2 cents. Like, I'll definitely address it with you and just say, I don't approve. And if you're gonna do this stuff, like if
Mm,
you're gonna be this person, not around me. If we're out together, act right. Like, act like as if I'm with you. If you're
yeah.
gonna be messy, pick another group of messy friends on another day and be with them. But me, I want to be your friend, and I want to help you honor a commitment that you've made, and I'm not
Yes,
gonna be part.
yeah.
So the next one is, how would you manage consoling a friend in an abusive relationship? An abusive could go from manipulative and this is just not good, or actually physical abuse. Like, how would you manage one if it's a thing where they don't have kids but she has jam to leave, and you really can't, have any sort of, you can't uproot her from that thing? How would you console her, or how would you approach the conversation?
So first of all, I have been in a situation where my friend is in an abusive relationship. So I will share on that. I'll share based on what happened, the event that happened around that situation. So I remember for a while when the abuse started, she didn't want to share with me because I think one thing I explicitly tell my friends always when they're in relationships is if this person does X, Y, and Z, me, guys,
Ouch.
I have so many words. One thing about me, I have so many words in my mouth. I will
Mm,
chat for you. I will chat for you. I will chat for you. Just the two of us, I will tell you. And so I think I had a few months before that, I had told friend X that that is not something that could ever happen. Possibly, it's not like it's really a deal breaker. Cool.
mm,
But based on that conversation that we had, she was not comfortable telling me, at least for like the first month when it first happened. And I remember when I saw her and I asked her, I was like, "Whoa, like, what's going on? You're bruised. Are you good? Like, is everything okay?" And actually, at the back of my mind, it didn't occur to me that that the relationship was abusive because the person she was with seemed normal, or what he didn't seem like someone who was abusive. And then I remember one day I was on the phone and she was asking me to do something for her. And then I asked her, I was like, "Yo, do you need like let me know." I said I'm gonna ask you a yes or no question. And then I did ask the question and she said yes. And I was surprised because in our friendship, like it's always jokes and banter and everything in that friendship. So when she said
mm,
yes, like, okay, you need to leave right now. I was like, you need
mm,
to leave right now, you need to go like to a safer place and I can find you a place. So then I called another person and I was like, can this person stay over at your house? And the person went there. So I was just like, when she now started sharing and then she called me and told me the whole story and everything. Guys, I have never been so shocked and surprised like that in my whole life. My jaw dropped
mm,
because I'd known this person for like time, like when we do hang out, which is occasionally, it was a good time.
mm.
So I was like, you mean this person can do this kind of thing? That's crazy. But yeah, basically, I feel like one, probably create that environment for someone to be very okay with you sharing. And once it does happen, be there for the person because, guys, abuse is very traumatic. Abuse is very
Yeah.
And I remember where she was staying, the person she was staying with kept on mentioning to me, like, this person keeps crying every night in her sleep, and I don't know what to
Mm,
do. I'm like, damn, like, even I don't know what to do for you, but like,
yeah.
just be there and showing the person that I'm here for you. Like, especially now when it feels like what was your whole world is not anymore, type of.
Anymore. Yeah. I hear that, guys. That's probably just the gems. Yeah, I definitely agree with how you handled the situation, how you dealt with that. I can't even imagine because I understand the dynamics of an abusive relationship and how like the manipulation and all of these different things. So sometimes I give not sometimes I always give grace when people are finding it hard to leave the situation, but then there's a time I also feel like very helpless. Like when, for example, your friend was able you were able to help them because they were ready to be helped. They needed the green flag to know, okay, it's safe to come out. We're going to be here and present for you. But for some people, it's like recurring, and I think I've been in that situation, but only for like emotional abuse,
Mhm.
and I think for me it was a thing of like I talked about it. Excuse me, they didn't get it, but all I do when it comes to consoling and being present for my friends in that situation is I'll tell you what I think you should do.
Yeah,
I will comfort you where necessary.
yeah,
Again, the fuse is my problem. The fuse is my problem. But at least when you come out of that relationship, you know that you can count on me to be your support. I'm just gonna tell you, and there's so much I can help you do when you make that decision. Does
yeah.
that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I think this should be our final question for this episode, and it is Oh, it's our final, but let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about. Um, how open are you? Is it Google or your friends when it comes to sex?
I feel like my friends,
Okay,
or
so if
maybe
it's not me, then
a bit of both, or yeah, I feel like a bit of both, but
okay.
most friends.
Guys, I don't know if anyone will believe this. I'm so shy. Like talking about sex, is I
I
would
know, right?
rather. I would rather I don't even use Google because I'm just like I'm scared the Google
I
thing
know.
will. You guys, I have. And it's so funny because for like a year and a half, I was on a relationship radio show, and let me tell you, I would need supernatural courage to get through so many conversations, to do with anything to do with sex. Like I was struggling. I was always struggling. Up to now, honestly, I'm not open about sex, and I think I could be more. I can talk about everything else in the world, but such sex, I just like that's when I keep quiet because I'm just like, like I'm a real Westerner auntie of like 19. Like
Literally, both of us. I feel like anyway. I think it's that way because we didn't grow up in a society where it was openly talked about.
that's true.
So low key, high key, we kind of carried that mentality on, and it has worked for us. And I understand that some people have broken the barriers and whatever, but like somehow it just works for us. Like
Yeah,
yeah, kind of thing.
that's one thing. It really works for us. It like if I ever talk about sex with her, I'm just like, can we finish and be going? Like, like that conversation.
I feel like if you could
Finish.
even whisper, if you could whisper in a
You
message,
check if we
I
could
would
whisper in the chat. We're just like, oh my god. We
literally.
actually need to deal with that. We need to deal with that. And then the final one, is there anything else you want to talk like what's your last remark in terms of relationships, romantic relationships and friendships? So a word to the wise.
Um, so obviously my perspective on romantic relationships over the years has changed. And in terms of my friend, I feel like before I never really used to share with my friends when I was younger the relationships I was in. But I realized that with sharing comes a lot of knowledge because sometimes you're going through something, you're dying, and you have no one. If you don't tell anyone about it, it's literally going to keep eating you up. So I do share with Lisa, then she's going to give me perspective into it, and then I'll probably share with like one more person just so I can hear different opinions, and then I'll make up my own decision. But I would definitely recommend sharing at least a lot of stuff, and also like if you're talking to people, share with your friends so that people can help you make some research. No, because child, people be moving mad these days. So
Mm.
yeah, share your relationships with your safe, secure friendships that you have.
I agree. I fully agree with that one. And then I think my bonus that goes up with that is definitely this thing. I feel like there's a lot of dynamics, like not a lot of narratives that go around romantic relationships and friendships. So don't tell your friends everything. That's abuser mentality. Actually, don't. Actually, your friends can take your man, or do you have friends who you don't trust? Like, I feel like guys, for you to have good romantic relationships, for you to have good advice, for you to have good sounding boards, for you to have people that help grow your relationships and give you different good perspectives on how to get better, on how to get out of certain situations, and how to stop repeating patterns, you have to make good friendships. So what you're doing in these romantic relationships, invest them in your friendships. Don't go to the Kampala Bala, pick up someone, say they're your friend, tomorrow you're telling them your problems with someone who you equally just met. Invest in your friendships. They go the long way in supporting and helping you with your romantic relationships and also growing you in that side. But then my final one, the one that I repeat 10 times, don't be those friends who are um invested in friendships when they're single and then all of a sudden you're not.
Yeah,
Don't be
Lisa.
those people. Oh,
Yeah, Lisa. Don't
Bro,
do
what the? I'm just
don't
gonna call back. Do that in my wedding speech. If I marry, I am going to just say that thing just on my file because I know if she could throw a shoe at me from the height of she already would.
like
I'm marrying my best friend.
wait. That's crazy that you can just meet a stranger one day and then all of a sudden it's like your bestie. But anyway, do you, man? Do
Do
you?
you, boo?
Do you?
Anyway, thank you so much for listening to that podcast. This is Conversations with Kanyomozi. Please follow us on all our podcast platforms, as well as YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. We do put the audio version of this podcast over there. And the more you support us, the more we can possibly get back to visual, because then I'll have to fly to Canada to shoot with Pearl, which sounds great. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much, Paul, for making the time and being part of this podcast. This is your third episode. Please let me know how much you liked it and if you'd come again.
Guys, I have been begging to be on this first podcast. This channel opened in 2020 or 2021. Guys, I have been begging. I even told her, I said, I swear we can record on Zoom. Hey, in 2023 is when this girl has decided to bring me on. But listen, I am more than honored to be here and I love it. I love it. I love it. I actually really didn't know how I would take it because I've not spoken on a podcast before. It's my first time doing this. But yeah, it's okay. It's all good. Love it.
I love it for you. Okay, great. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.